Hi, everyone. My name is Lena Thompson, a 32-year-old woman who's called the windy streets of Chicago home for most of my life. But let me pull you in right away with a hook that still gives me chills when I think about it. Picture this: a family dinner where you're labeled the heartless villain for finally saying no to endless handouts, only to drop a bombshell that shatters their world and launches you into a life of freedom abroad. That's the raw, unfiltered truth of my journey, one I've guarded like a vault buried deep in my soul. For years, I carried this secret, letting it simmer and build until it exploded into the most satisfying twist of all. Today, I'm opening that vault wide for you, because sharing this story isn't just cathartic. It's a reminder that sometimes the quietest revolutions are the loudest. Buckle up. This is going to be emotional, surprising, and real. Let's rewind to where it all began, in the heart of Chicago's South Side, where the skyline towers like distant dreams and the L trains rumble like constant reminders of the grind. I grew up in a 2-bedroom apartment that always felt too small for our family's big personalities. My parents, Maria and Robert Thompson, were the backbone of our world. Dad slinging wrenches at an auto parts factory for 30 years, his hands calloused and stained with grease, and Mom pulling double shifts as a nurse's aide in a bustling hospital, her feet swollen but her smile never fading. They taught us resilience, but money? It was always the elephant in the room, lurking in unpaid bills and secondhand clothes. My brother Alex, 2 years my junior, was the charmer, the one with the easy laugh and endless excuses. From a young age, he was the golden boy, excused for his mischief because boys will be boys. Me? I was the steady one, the planner. By age 12, I was already babysitting the neighbor's twins for pocket change, saving up for school supplies while Alex blew his allowance on comic books and arcade games. Those early days planted the seeds of my independence, but they also sowed the first hints of resentment. A quiet ache in my chest when I'd see him carefree while I worried about tomorrow. Fast forward through high school, where I juggled honors classes and a part-time job at a local grocery store. College was community college for me. No fancy dorms or out-of-state adventures. I majored in marketing, drawn to the creativity and strategy, dreaming of campaigns that could change the world. Graduation came with a mix of pride and pressure. I landed my first real job at a mid-sized ad agency downtown, crafting slogans for everything from toothpaste to tech gadgets. But Chicago's relentless cost of living hit hard. Rent for my shoebox apartment in Wrigleyville ate half my paycheck, student loans loomed like storm clouds, and groceries? Forget organic. It was ramen and canned soup most nights. That's when I started the second job, waitressing at O'Malley's Diner on weekends. Picture me at 5 a.m. on Saturdays, brewing coffee with bleary eyes, smiling through aching feet as truckers and night shift workers shared their stories. Those long hours weren't just exhausting. They were my forge, tempering my resolve. Emotionally, it was a roller coaster, pride in my self-sufficiency clashing with bone-deep fatigue. I'd collapse into bed at midnight, whispering to myself, "This is temporary. One day, you'll escape." An escape I dreamed of. Europe, with its ancient cities and fresh starts. London, Paris, Berlin. They danced in my mind like forbidden lovers, promising a career in international marketing where I could thrive, not just survive. But my family, they saw my hard work as a bottomless well to draw from. Alex, oh Alex, he never quite grew out of that golden boy phase. Between jobs became his mantra, a revolving door of gigs he quit or lost because it wasn't the right fit. He'd text me at odd hours. "Sis, Spot me $50 for gas? I'll pay you back next week. Next week turned into next month, then never. Over the years, those loans snowballed. $200 for a phone bill, $300 for rent when he got evicted again, even $1,000 once for a surefire business idea that fizzled like a dud firework. I'd hand it over, my heart twisting with a cocktail of love and frustration. Why? Because family guilt is a powerful drug. Mom would call, her voice soft but insistent. Lena, he's going through a rough patch. Remember, we're all we've got. Dad would grunt over dinner. Don't be so tight-fisted, kid. We raised you to help your own. Tight-fisted. The word echoed in my ears like an accusation, making me question my worth. I'd lie awake at night, tears soaking my pillow, wondering if I was the selfish one. But deep down, a voice whispered back, "You're enabling him. When does it end?" Those moments built my character, layer by layer, from the eager-to-please sister to a woman simmering with unspoken boundaries. The emotional storm brewed slowly, but the turning point crashed in like a Midwest thunderstorm. It was a drizzly Tuesday last fall, the kind where the gray sky mirrors your mood. I'd dragged myself home from the agency after a brutal pitch meeting. My shoulders knotted from stress, only to flop on the couch with leftover pizza. My phone lit up. Alex. Hey, Lena, car broke down. Need $500 ASAP. Promise this is the last time. My stomach churned. Flashbacks hit me. Birthdays where I'd gift him cash instead of celebrating myself. Holidays skipped because I was covering his debts. Friends' invitations declined so I could work extra shifts. The resentment boiled over, hot and fierce. With shaking fingers, I replied, "I'm sorry, Alex. I can't do this anymore." The silence that followed was deafening. Then the floodgates opened. Mom's call came first, her tone laced with hurt. "Lena Marie Thompson, how could you turn your back on your brother? After everything?" Dad's text pinged. "Stingy, Lena. Real stingy. Thought better of you." The family group chat erupted. Aunt Carla, "Money's changed her, hasn't it?" Cousins chiming in with judgmental emojis. Stingy. The label branded me, whispered behind my back at Sunday brunches, eyed warily over coffee. I felt like an outcast in my own bloodline, isolated and raw. That night, alone in my apartment, with rain pattering against the window, I sobbed, great heaving cries that left me hollow. But amid the pain, something shifted. Defiance. A spark ignited, fanning into a flame. They didn't know my secret. No one did. And that one secret? It was my fortress, my hidden bank account, the vault of dreams I'd built brick by brick over 8 grueling years. It started innocently enough, skipping that daily latte, selling vintage clothes on eBay, picking up freelance graphic design gigs after midnight. I'd research high-yield savings accounts obsessively, opening one under a pseudonym to shield it from prying eyes. No apps linked to my phone, no statements mailed home. Every deposit was a victory. $20 from a tip jar, $100 from a bonus, compounding interest like silent cheers. By last year, it had swelled to over $60,000, not from windfalls, but from sheer sweat-soaked sacrifice. Remember those friends' weddings I skipped? The concerts I passed on? The vacations that existed only in travel blogs? They all funneled into that account. Emotionally, it was my lifeline, a quiet rebellion against the guilt. Each transfer felt like therapy. This is for you, Lena, for your future. but the secrecy weighed heavy, like a chain around my neck. I'd evolved through it, from a people-pleaser crumbling under expectations to a resilient woman who understood that boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to self-respect. The internal battles were intense, guilt gnawing at me during family calls, pride swelling when I'd check the balance. It was a character arc forged in fire, teaching me that true strength whispers before it roars. Spring brought the surprise that upended everything, a plot twist straight out of a novel. I'd been job hunting abroad in stolen moments, lunch breaks at the agency, late nights at the diner, tailoring resumes, practicing interviews via Zoom with mock panels. One crisp morning, as cherry blossoms dotted the parks, my inbox pinged. Dear Ms. Thompson, we're thrilled to offer you the senior marketing specialist role at our London headquarters. My breath caught, heart hammering like a drum, the details blurred through joyful tears, competitive salary, relocation package, visa sponsorship, the works. This wasn't just a job, it was validation, a dream materialized from years of deferred gratification. But the confrontation loomed like a shadow. I chose a family dinner at Mom and Dad's cozy bungalow, the air thick with the scent of her famous lasagna. Alex was there, lounging on the couch, moaning about his latest job flop. Economy sucks, you know? I waited for a lull, my pulse thundering. Everyone, I have big news. I've accepted a job in London. I'm moving next month. The room froze. Forks clattered. Mom's eyes widened in shock. London? As in England? You're abandoning us? Dad's face reddened. After we sacrificed for you kids? Ungrateful! Alex leaped up, veins bulging. So that's it? You've been sitting on a pile of cash while I struggle? Stingy bitch! The words sliced deep, accusations flying like shrapnel. Selfish, deserter, heartless. Tears stung my eyes, but I held firm, voice quivering yet strong. I've given everything for years, supported you all. Now I'm choosing me. Storming out into the cool evening, their stunned, speechless faces etched in my mind, I felt a whirlwind, heartbreak for the bonds strained, exhilaration for the chains broken. It was the ultimate twist, leaving them reeling as I stepped into my power. The weeks that followed were a blur of bittersweet preparations. Packing boxes in my apartment, I lingered over mementos, a faded photo of Alex and me as kids, laughing on a swing set, Mom's handwritten recipes, Dad's old toolbox. Saying goodbye to Chicago tore at me. The agency's farewell party with cake and hugs. The diner's regulars slipping me extra tips with well wishes. At the airport, as the plane taxied down the runway, a tidal wave of emotions crashed. Fear of the unknown, grief for what I left, but overriding it all, a profound satisfaction. London unfolded like a storybook. Rainy cobblestone alleys, the hum of double-decker buses, my new flat with a view of the Thames sparkling under streetlights. The job immersed me in global campaigns, brainstorming with diverse teams over tea, no more scraping by. I wired a small sum home once settled, not out of obligation but closure. Responses trickled. Mom's voicemail, voice cracking with regret. We miss you, honey. Proud too. Dad's gruff text. Sorry for the words. Safe travels. Alex's eventual email. Congrats, sis. Maybe I need to grow up. Healing began, scars fading into wisdom. I'd transformed, from the burdened sister to a woman unbound, chasing horizons with unyielding grace. Reflecting now, the emotions weave a tapestry, the simmering anger that fueled my savings, the gut-wrenching surprise of betrayal, the euphoric joy of rebirth. But the crown jewel? Satisfaction, deep, resonant, like a symphony's finale. It whispers that dreams deferred don't die, they detonate when ready. Family ties bind, but they shouldn't strangle. I've learned to honor both, roots and wings. As I close this heartfelt chapter, here's a thought-provoking quote that mirrors my path. "The best revenge is massive success," by Frank Sinatra. Not vengeance, but victory, over doubt, over drainers, over your own fears. Thank you, truly and deeply, for lending your ears to my story. It's healing to voice these truths and connect through shared humanity. If it stirred something in you, please hit like, share with someone who needs inspiration, and subscribe for more authentic tales of resilience and renewal. Your engagement fuels these narratives. Until our next emotional voyage, hold your dreams close and pursue them boldly.